Before he stands a huge machine on a caterpillar track. On the top of the strange machine is crowned with a metal cube, which was probably made to resemble a human head. I don't remember what kind of machine is called. Look at the body. One body of the machine has a metal plate on it. One plate is a simple lock. Kick it. Ouch! You hurt your leg. Briefly wonder if you continue to kick the giant will result in your death. No reason to try and see though. The machine though that does not react. Right, I took 1 damage from kicking it. Let's try this room. Oh. Good damage. Avoid the toxin. Could I? Oh god. Can't really use them. Can I make grenades? No. Make a shield. Oh, the shield goes in that slot. No thanks. Alright, what's over here? Microchips. Those should be valuable. Very, very heavy. I'm gonna get rid of the bricks. Jesus. Maybe just get rid of a few. It's all light stuff. Code lock. Oh, we had a note. I don't know if it was for this. Oh, that's the wrong one. 4316, is this the one? It was. That was the one. Knife. Youth and technology. Youth and engineering. Computers are the future of the mankind. A computer! This wonderful world isn't common for many USSR citizens, but in the future, this situation will change. Computers are the future. Computers and communism, that is. Thus said Alexei Podgorny, head engineer at DV Buratov's calculating machine manufacturing factory. What kind of a device is a computer? Conrad Podgorny explained it this way. It's a machine or a system that can complete an interchangeable set of tasks. Most of these tasks involve calculation or data manipulation. But input-output operations are also possible. He listened with awe, but not daring to falter the speech of this modern-day Copernicus. But he notices that we are too quiet and gives a fatherly laugh. Too many hard words for you? Yes, a bit, we answer while blushing. Could you give a more simplified definition? Sure, now imagine a calculator, and imagine that it no longer just lets you make number calculations. It also lets you write, draw, create music. Say you'd like to write a letter to your grandma who lives on a state farm. Nothing is more simple. You push the button which allows you to type on a keyboard. Input your letters into the computer. When finished, with just a press of a button, you would print out what you wrote and get your letters on paper. It's not just a high-tech typewriter. On a computer, you can correct any spelling errors on the go. And we ask, and if we imagine that Grandma also has one of these computers, can we send her device a letter from our device without printing it? Engineer nods. Sure you can. Even while we speak, there are certain scientists working a certain web of computers. We'll connect them all. In the West, such a web already has been invented. Now our researchers want to understand and improve it. The youngest of our group lifts his hand and asks a funny question while looking very shy. Can the computer be used to play some kind of games? Comrade Purgorny looks at the boy strictly, but still smiling with his eyes, and wags his finger, saying, "Computer is too important of a device. It is designed to help us with communication, creativity, and work. It will entertain our minds, not to give us low, childish entertainment. And even if it wasn't so, I can't imagine a game made on a computer. How boring it would probably be." We all nod in agreement and point our fingers at the young boy who asks the silly question. We're all young, but we're not infants. The talk with the engineer went on for hours. He shared his thoughts on the future of humanity, but which seemed like something out of science fiction. But it wasn't some young dreamer talking to us, but an experienced, serious man. He talked. Pictures of an amazing future stood before our eyes. A Siberian event types of a story about our motherland's victories on this computer. A forest-dwelling Samoyed types a letter to his comrades in Cuba. A worker from Moscow reads the latest news, and in the eyes of all this future is reflected, glimmering in the light of the future, a CRT screen of a computer. Gain technology. 10 points. Wait, did I get 10? I did! Jeez! A lot of points. Oh god. Oh wow, that's a big AoE of that. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna see if this is worth unlocking. Oh god, well I'm in the combat now. This is worth unlocking, let's find out. Am I gonna get poisoned? Find out. No. Not worth it. Ow. Have anything protecting me from toxin? Radiation resistances. Okay, well nothing that does toxin stuff. Alright. Leveled. I want lockpicking because it's important. Okay, I'm very poisoned. Minus toxicity. Lower toxicity, like way more than I need though. This thing's gotta be radioactive for sure. Oh? I would have guessed this thing would be radioactive. A lot of wires, but not a lot of wires. Okay, well I'm guessing the main reward of this area was the technology skill, which very nice. Thank you, game. Very happy about that. Probably an elevator of some sort. Oh, coffin again. Oh my god, these are gonna weigh so much. Do I really want to try to carry all these? How much is it gonna weigh? I can't even move now. Well, I don't know if I want to carry all these. They're stupidly heavy. Tell you what. Where are they? This is what I'll do. I'll drop them all here for now. We decide to actually bring them all the way out of here. Come back and grab them. But alarm clock and a frag grenade. Training. Training grenade. Put effects over here. Thought it was like radiation or something. Shotgun shells. Did you look at that? Oh, it's the computer! There's a computer sitting on the table. It's very modern for pre-war tech, although covered in layers of dust. Still might be usable. Gotta turn it on. Success! You look at the computer over, blowing away the dust, wiping your hand across the screen. You press some buttons on the keyboard and find the button that turns the computer on. Surprisingly, it still works. With a slight buzz, the display turns on and a low hum fills the forgotten bunker. Computer. Dim display shows a text message. Welcome to the OWL system. Comrade, I remind you the cargo elevator A1 is currently sealed in response to Order 712. It's strictly forbidden to open the elevator without explicit orders from your superiors. There are also three messages, unread messages. Under this text, there's a C command line. It says type something in it. Enter something. The open message. Message 1. Petrov, I remind you that the new code to the TV room is 2104. 1 sec, chat. I'm gonna use my own chat. There we go. Message 2. Warning, Order 712 is in effect. In light of that fact, remind all the cargo A1 is prohibited from being opened. Okay. All labor and no free time makes poor Petrov a dull worker. All labor and no free time makes poor Petrov a dull worker. Open. Elevator. Open. Bunker. Then. Elevator. Open. Then. Bunker. Open. Then message. Open. I want to try some weird combos. If. Bunker. Closed, then open. Huh. If elevator closed, then open. Yes. Aha! If message open. Hey, yeah, cough cough. Is this the TV room? 2104? Yes, it is. Ooh. That's nice. T&M on the TV box? Lantern battery? Lantern battery 3336, Planeta 1, made in the USSR. It's old, but can still spit chemicals in the... Okay. Cool. Vodka. It's a soft drink vending machine. Once, such machines stood in all Soviet towns and cities. After the war, most of them were used up for parts of scrap metal. Jack the machine open. Success! You carefully search the bulk of the machine with your fingers. Look for any seams in the metal cover. You find nothing. After close inspection, you notice the huge lid of the machine is kept in place by bolts so rusty they can be removed by hand. This will break the machine. It still operates. Take out the bolts. Put the bolts and open the vending machine. Q for the wires. Verifying MDI pool data. Boot from CD. Disk boot failure. Insert disk and press enter. I have a cassette. I don't think it wants a cassette. Or a condom. Can I exit? A question? Nope. Ugh. Gonna exit a question. Maybe I can lockpick this now because I have higher lockpick skill. Success. After fiddling with the rusty lock, you finally remove the metal plate with a quiet snap. Before you is a jumbled mess of colored wires. You can take them with you and sell them to someone in the waste, or you can leave them and try fixing the metal giant. By fixing it. The machine is far too complicated for you. You cluck your tongue, rub your head, and finally realize that any attempt to fix the machine will only break it even further. I'm not going to tear out the wires. Maybe one day I'll be able to fix it. Have a murderer's bot. Look at it. It's cool. Alright, so the elevator was not allowed to be used, so let's use it. Clearly, it's the best thing to do. A lot of dead creatures. Very large area. Okay, the map's gonna be useful here. That. What is a use for these cassettes? Painkillers. Heavy painkillers that also make you forget about your wounds, but it can also be turned into a wacky pill popper. Health, damage resistances, minus damage resistance after 2 hours. Gives you some health and apply, and will lower your health after a while. Okay, so it's like a super stim pack. Kinda interesting. Game. Gonna be more microchips. lot of microchips. Guessing it's a reference to the water chip from Fallout 2 and 1. That opens. What is that? Doors closed. This door closed on its own. Okay, so we can go all the way over there. A big place. Oh, this is a big place with a lot of corpses. Okay. Option for fog of war. It'd be cool if there was an option for fog of war, so I didn't have to like spoil myself on all this. Okay, that looks like a living quarter and dead end, so let's try that first. Plus, I get to fight some things. So much reading. I want to fight some things and gain XP. I like reading, but after a while it hurts. Memo! We, 5534, Petrova Newman, 8904. Okay. I want to type all this down. There we go. I'm not gonna remember exactly which ones were which, but I'll just have to yeah, I'll just have to try them all. That's fine. Personal diary. How long is? Oh my god, that's long. And I acknowledge my mistakes, that I'm ready to receive this proper punishment for them, but Aksenov's position on this matter disturbs me greatly. Need I even say that they are all unhappy with my statement? The talk was really hard, and the ending of it very awkward. Now this topic is finally closed, so it was all for the best. A few words about my future home. Sure didn't spare any expenses. Automatic doors, each equipped with motion sensors, sensing apparatus. You can even input a code to use instead of a key, but it seems like an overpriced, unnecessary thing. But I think someday doors like this will be everywhere, even in shops. Krasnov got a strange phobia because of these doors, though. He's afraid that after some arrow, these doors will endanger people around the bunker. Tech staff proved there's no danger involved, but he still believes that sooner or later one of these doors will cut his head off. Strange superstition from a rational man. The lab is equipped like something out of this world. All the instruments are in the ideal condition. The machines lack markings, but I believe they are East German. There's a room for test animals. I believe we will have to experiment on them during our stay. Vivisection comes to mind. We also have some Elecon computers, EVMs, and even Western design. An amazing level of equipment. I think these machines surpass everything I used before. The nature of our research is not only known to most of us. The full picture is probably only known to our leader, Nina Semonyova. He's pulling all the strings. As for me, I suspect you're working a kind of biological weapon. Most of us think that nuclear weapons are the most destructive. How wrong they are. The most dangerous weapon is indeed biological. Started ordering the Prada newspaper to keep up with the times. So many things happening during my stay in the bunker. I'm also considering a subscription to the Literature Digest and New World or the New World Journal. Good read never hurts. Today I got the chance to get to know our leader, Nina Semonyova. At supper, she asked what I think about poetry. I'm really surprised by this because I always thought of her as someone too practical for such matters. Even without thinking, I lied saying that I love poetry. She recommended reading Bloch. What an interesting person she is. Green eyes sometimes light up with no apparent reason. With no connections to the topic of discussion. But these eyes, they do not live on their own. Follow Nina Semonyova's feelings and thoughts. What does she think about, I wonder? About work? Got a bit sick today. I blame the trip to the local site called the Zamogremsk waterfall. Quite the place, actually. The water in it has a reddish tint, almost like blood. Some microorganisms are probably to blame. Stranger, nobody ever tried to learn more about that phenomena. Local legend tells us of a fight between two strong men, Big Normer and Anzar the Brave. They fought on the Zagarim hill until they ran one another through with swords. I can only imagine how surprised the people of the past were to find this bloody waterfall. Anyway, I'm writing this from the med bay. I have to spend a few days here. How good is it that I start subscriptions to newspapers? Change in staff today. The new specialist is Naaman YG. We'll be replacing the departed Nikolaev. Today we and Naaman discussed what is more important, the physical body functions or emotions. I think that the body is more important. Emotions are a product of it. But Naaman thinks otherwise. He loves music and is fairly creative, sort of a mix between a scientist and a poet. Interestingly enough, judging by my observations, Naaman himself isn't prone to empathy. It seems that we are not the only lab that is currently busy with the project. There is at least one more, although where it is located and who is part of the team, I do not know. Interesting information though. Are we working on parts of some giant project? Are we making the same thing but with different approaches? Maybe we have the same plan, the same work plan, and the other labs spares in case something goes wrong in one. Many questions, sadly. I doubt I'll ever find answers for them. Today, me and Krasnov finished a chess session that lasted 2 days. Each afternoon we met in the rest area to continue our play, and the others watched us with interest. I must say Krasnov is a great chess player, but sometimes he is prone to risky moves. Thus he has more of an adventurous playstyle. I, on the other hand, believe that the best style of play is that of a tactician. Each move is a riddle, puzzle, which must be solved. This is why I love chess. Krasnov lost, by the way, but I must say it was quite the battle. Now I won't play chess for a while. I like making pauses between games. Krasnov wants to have another go at me, but he isn't too urgent. He wants to think about his mistakes first. This is why I respect the man. Another change in staff. In place of the departed Boris Snyder, we got 2 new scientists, Terentev and Vavilov. Fairly young, we see how they cope with the research. I like Terentev from the start. He's energetic, and he knows his place in life. Met another rookie in our team today, Vavilov, a young man, fairly reserved, if not shy. Also seems to be kind of sentimental. He also enjoys chess, and would like to play sometime. That. Want to know his playstyle. I have a vacation. I'd rather not go home. A resort is also out of the question. The only idea I found worthwhile for my free time is to pursue my small passion. I'm a folklorist at heart, so I decided to drive around local villages, asking about local legends. Some folks around here remember legends and songs of old. They're still unheard of by most folklore students. I'm so interested in finding how folk stories were conceived. What pushed the ancient people to create certain myth? Where are its roots? Solving such problems is like being a real detective. I also learned that I will be followed, wherever I go. People from the Secret Service will shadow my every move. Well, I'm not offended by that. It's safer that way. Rich Man Drone. Written from the words of an old man living in the Duplanskoye village named Gregory Korova. Once there was this lonely farmer that lived over yonder, where there is now a clearing. His surname was Trofimov, methinks, but we called him Drone. You know, like the lazy bee, that only buzzes around with no work done. Now he was one lazy son of a bitch, but how rich he was. Had no servants, almost no relatives. But how he still prospered. It's like his farm was running itself somehow. People from our village avoided the man. My grandma used to say that each night a certain gate opens on Drone's field and devils pour out, holding pitchforks, plows, and shovels, you know, to work Drone's fields. But I don't know if that was the truth, but when the revolution of 1917 happened, and the communists came to take his riches, he gave them everything without a fight, all of his crops, all of his livestock. When the revolutionaries started to leave, he told them, I'll take it all, I've got fertile lands. Take it all, I've got fertile lands. I will grow more riches for myself. And you know what, comrade? I swear this is the truth. I saw it myself, and others saw it too. We all saw. During the next night, Rich Man's Drone's fields changed. Oh yes, we saw it. Saw cows and goats and horses emerge from the ground. First the heads grew from the ground, and the bodies followed, pale and milky, like they were still undeveloped somehow. They crawled out of the ground screaming, foaming at their mouths, watching each other's with wild, mad eyes. They grew out of Rich Man Drone's field like horseradish or potatoes, like the field birthed them. The next morning, Rich Man Drone and his new herd were gone without a trace. There are things on this earth much older than humanity. They're like one thing, my friend, solitude. So our Rich Man Drone left these lands, I think, because we, humans, bothered him too much. All the livestock that the communists took from his farm, all of it died out soon. Horses, cows, pigs, and goats all fell apart, turned into moist soil, the soil of Drone's field, from which they came. In In the Konoplasovo village, there's a legend that somewhere deep in the woods there's a tree that is not really a tree. It's really hard to understand what that phrasing meant. The only answer the locals gave me was, "You'll know it when you see it." One later added that if you manage to find this tree that is not a tree, I should bow to it. The tree will continue standing still after that. You walk away, boy. But if it bows back, there won't be no place to go no more. Nikiforov from the control center visited us today. We had a talk later. Later even drank together. Secretly, of course. We discussed the latest game of the World Chess Championship between the current champion Karparov and the new star on the scene named Kasparov. The match is still going, but Nikiforov already thinks that Kasparov will win. I, on the other hand, doubt it. I think Kasparov can still give a good fight. Yes, the Sicilian defense and a beautiful victory in 31 moves already happened. I think the man is still just warming up. Visited Dr. Bod today to get some medicine against my headache. I do get those sometimes, but this one I have right now is just something else. It almost stings the skin on my head. Bod made a quick checkup and gave me a pill. I think I feel better, but why did it hurt like that? Sleep well, I eat healthy, maybe it's cabin fever. Notice that Nina Semonyova and her team also look pale and sickly. Though lucky that I never took a wife and have no kids, it's frightening to look at how some of my colleagues miss home. Nikiforov visited today, had a bottle of something special with him. We drank a little bit, talked about Karparov vs Kasparov, the famous chess match. I still believe that Kapomanes made the right move, but Nikiforov thinks he chickened out. After the talk, Nikiforov told me about a project called Atom. We heard that it's a code name for a contingency plan that will be enforced in case of an all-out war. Creepy rumor. It means they are seriously preparing for war. But does the public know? I don't think so. After that talk, we mostly stayed silent. Finally, Nikiforov shook my hand and went back. I am somewhat unnerved. A bizarre and terrible fight broke out between Vavilov and me today. I can't even remember what started it. We were almost at each other's throats moments later. But luckily that the other pulled us apart and made us make peace. At the end of the day, we even decided we will play chess together as we planned. It's interesting to point out that the flash of rage was instantaneous and completely irrational for both of us. We both can usually keep our emotions in check and our other hands to ourselves. It's gone wrong. I think I should look into the behavior of my other colleagues. Dr. Broad told me that today a fair few of our research members came to him with violent headaches, mostly men from Nina Semenyova's team. Colonel Malshiev and some soldiers also reported pains in the head region. Just now I awoke from a terrible nightmare. As I woke up quite terrified, a strange thought occurred to me. This is why I'm making this entry. It was not the first time I got that exact nightmare. I've had a few of them, differing only slightly between them, starting from March. I'll now describe the nightmare. I sit inside a room in the bunker, on a bed, I think. Though it does not matter. Light in the room. A light bulb is shining, quite brightly. I'm reading a newspaper, or something like that, when the door to the restroom suddenly starts opening slowly. I turn my head and ask, Semenyov? It's dark in the restroom. Nobody answers me. I get up from the bed and go to check why the door is opened. At this moment, I hear a voice from the darkness. It says a word, or a phrase, in Russian, I think. I can't understand it. I ask again, is it you, Semenyov? Then a thought occurs to me. It's not a human voice. It's not a human. I woke up in tears. I have to pay attention to my dreams from now on. My dreams are getting more vivid. When last I saw my first teacher, Maria Ivanova, she was wearing some sort of a cotton vest covered with rusty red velvet spots. She was walking around the classroom giving me a lecture. But I suddenly had that thought again. Her voice is not human. She is not a human. I awoke, overwhelmed with terror. I had a chat with Vavilov, learned something bizarre. He gets nightmares that are very close to my own. The only difference is that in his dreams he is in Leningrad, his favorite city. Dr. Broad supposes it's because of the stress. Strange. I don't feel very stressed. Maybe it's some type of hidden neurosis. He finally told us the news. While we sat underground, our planet died. Why am I not surprised? Strange. Dr. Broad gave everyone sedatives, but I think I didn't take any. I feel pity for my colleagues and their families. I don't really give a fuck about everyone else. Today a group of soldiers is planning to go to the surface. We need food and resources. A lot of things, really. We also should probably find survivors and help them in any way we can. Probably. It's all too surreal. We don't have a lot of options. Colonel Malshiev, me, Semenyov, Martimenko, Neyman, as well as Drill Sergeant Denisov and the privates Kresnikov, Hachiran, Chaikin, Samilov, Kaznetsov, Chernyshky, and Seklov are going topside. The others were hit by the news too badly. Krasnov went off his rocker, I believe. Good luck to us, I guess. Hope to write a new entry soon. So my only guess what's happening is some sort of biological thing that fucks with their brain and makes them angry. He said he started fighting for no reason. That's my guess. There's the chest room. Yeah. Alright. Don't really see anything of interest in the chest room right now. Rubles. Else. Okay, this is gonna be one of the many codes I have. Let's try the first one. Nope. Alright. How about that one? Nope. How about that code? Yes. Comes the end. Family, maybe? Okay, let's try that code again. Nope. How about that code? Nope. What's that for the other door? There we go. That's pretty. I just realized there's LPs all over that man's floor. I skipped this room, I think. There we go. Oh shit! Crimson. That's King Crimson right there. A real music aficionado in here. It's awesome. That's my GOG profile picture. That's really cool. I like that. Is that the guy who was afraid his head would get cut off by a door? One of the guys did say that. He was afraid that, yeah, his head would be chopped off by a door. I see a head in the doorway. Well, last one I have? It is. Okay, dead corpse. And a rusty macaron. Guessing he just shot himself. Huh. Oh, the diary. Hello, my dear reader. I'm starting this journal as my friend recommended, even though I doubt anyone but me would get to read it. A week ago, I started my work in secret. My work. Laboratory 317. I'll spend 2 years, minus the vacation time, and to be honest, I have mixed feelings about this. Sure, the work we do is really interesting, and the lab itself is simply amazing. Such new equipment. On the other hand, though my wife just gave birth to our daughter, and I miss them both so much, I also miss my friends and my parents. I get mixed feelings like that. I try to remember that I'm here to do my dream job. Though, and everything turns for the best. If only the guys from the Institute would see me now. Well, that's that. My first entry. Better go find something to do. Hello, my dear reader. The work on the project is running well, and I don't really have a lot of time to write anything. Well, I do get some free time, but I don't like spending it on the intellectual labor. That's just me. I was told that I'm prone to concentrating on only one problem at a time. Either way, I'm still alive, and work, as usual, keeps me from thinking about my family, which I miss so much. Life's good. Hello, my dear reader. Recently, I've begun an opportunity to get to know the other lab employees better. You must think it's just about time. It's been here for 2 full months, but I'm just that sort of a person. I don't know how to call this feature. Probably shyness. Anyways, several days ago we went out. We do go out, of course. Good to breathe some fresh air once in a while. But this was the first time we did it together. Someone offered to have a barbecue, and next thing I knew, we were outside. We had a drink or two, which helped me overcome my natural timidity, and I decided to get to know everyone. Before that, my only formal company had been Tereniev, my roommate. But then I never became friends with a couple of other interesting people. In particular, Newman, a specialist in chemical, petrochemical, and oil refining industries. He's a great music fan and the second youngest crew member after me. He promised to lend me his LP collection. He has plenty of foreign music. That's not allowed, but we are an exception. Lazarenko is also a remarkable person, very smart and a great chess lover. We both decided we had to organize a friendly chess competition, and the rest were totally in favor of the idea, like Kasparov versus Belyavsky. By the way, Tereniev also showed an unexpected side. Apparently he's a cinephile. Let's get an amateur cinema founded for us. Only support him. It will be interesting. Well, this is all new. Thank you, everyone. See you later. Hello, my dear reader. I haven't wrote to you in a long time, but this job keeps me from doing anything else. I got a letter from my family today, and I'm so happy. It's not the first letter I ever got, but it was so special anyways. My wife told me our little girl just started teething. So happy, and a bit too sad too. Happy when I think about them, and sad when I realize I can't be with them yet. My girl almost never saw her father. Talked about it to Terentev. Not married, but he understood my worries. Good doc, good man. Although I don't really share his taste in movies. 2 months ago we got a Betamax video player from the West. Terentev orders a lot of movies, and showed one to all of us. The movie was Fitzcarraldo by Vernon Herzog. We watched it, and had a discussion about it later. I stayed silent, but still. The discussion seemed to me more entertaining than the movie itself, although maybe I just don't understand some art. I don't quite understand Nietman's taste in music. Well, I enjoy parts of his collection, but Neyman himself laughed at what I liked. Don't get me wrong, dear reader. They're both great people, it's just that we don't have many in common interests. Probably enough for today. Till next time. The last day of 1984. What a year it's been. Our new job, new people, everything has changed. Everything has changed so much. Our boss, Nina Semyonova, is an extraordinary person. Strict and not exactly kind, she is yet an outstanding scientist. She has everything organized. I've talked to the family today and under supervision, but at least they allowed me to talk at all. This is very good. We take into account our unflexible schedule. I've heard their dear voices and couldn't help but cry. This made me feel very awkward, but the KGB official who supervised the conversation had the tact to turn away. Now I feel dismal, which might partly account for my taking the pen away, but I hope the party tonight will disperse my gloom. Happy New Year! Hangover. I've forgotten what it was like. Hello, my dear reader. A curious thing has happened today. It was announced that something called Object 50 would deliver today at 4 p.m. All the lab staff, except the managers, was to lock up in their rooms. These objects were delivered straight to the round hall, which, like the most of us, I am forbidden to enter. Nina Semyonova personally supervised the delivery. This made me wonder what it actually was and what we were working on. Now there are many chemists and biologists among us, me being one of the latter. Yet we only received the information about part of the job necessary to complete our immediate task. How can we develop cutting-edge medicines? The secrecy level that shrouds the project suggests a different explanation. Hello, dear reader. Today I thought a lot about my family. The thoughts overwhelmed me so much I became sick. I stayed in my room all day. I miss my family so much, it's tearing me apart. I know it's a weakness, but I can't handle myself. He also got sick, huh? I understand that other people in this bunker must feel the same, both scientists and soldiers. Nobody mopes around because of that, only me. I chat with a soldier today in one of the corridors. We rarely see eye to eye with the military personnel, even though we live in the same bunker. Man wasn't very talkative. I suppose that's reasonable. Nobody would hire a chatty type for this line of work. We don't get television or radio down here, only newspapers. I dislike. We keep the conversation going, asked the soldier about the latest news. He told me that we have a new Secretary of the State, Mikhail Gorbachev. Tensions between the USSR and the USA are more broadened than ever. Gromyko and Schultz had a fight once more. There was a plane crash near Minsk. No good news, to be sure. That's my only story for today. See you later, reader. A year. It's been exactly a year since my first note. Through my reader, I haven't exactly been generous with my notes, yet this date still calls for celebrating, especially now that I have good news. I'm gonna have a vacation in summer. The very thought of me meeting soon with my family, my dear daughter, and friends gives me strength and inspires me. I don't even want to think that we've had another delivery of the Object 50. This time I was able to get a glimpse of them. Then he tried to talk me out of it, but my curiosity took the best of me. Our doors weren't locked, so I peeped out cautiously. Soldiers were quickly steering the 3 hospital-like stretchers along the corridor. On the stretchers, there were things covered by sheets. Judging by the size, they might well be bodies. I told Teniev about it. He said the objects must be corpses from the nearest morgue. Everything's possible. I fight with Lazarenko today. Funny, can't remember the reason behind it. Tiny thing. It just so happened that we both were really nervous at the time. No joke. Others had to actually pull us from one another. When the men escorted us to our rooms, we simmered down, and later even made peace. As we shook hands, we couldn't remember what made us so aggressive before. Decided to play chess with Lazarenko. Erntev joked about it, saying that the fighting in a chess match is an improvement from using your knuckles. I wholeheartedly agreed. Hello, my dear reader. Haven't had reasons to write for a while. At first, I had too much work. Then they threatened they wouldn't let me go on vacation, but thanks to Nina Semyonova, it's all sorted out. I actually went on vacation. I won't describe all the feelings that overwhelmed me. Don't trust the heartless paper with such strong emotions. Let's give a basic outline. My wife, my parents, my daughter, and I decided to go to Palanga, the Baltic seashore. We visited the Amber Museum and the Botanical Garden. The sea was unimaginably cold. We swimmed a lot anyways. A curious legend about one of the local attractions, the Beirut Hill. According to it, the wife of the medieval Lithuanian Duke Kęstutis was born there. Beirut herself was a pagan, and after her death, there were developed something of a cult in her honor. I didn't quite understand why, but as history had always been very far from me, I was amazed at the literary value of this legend. Also, during the vacation, I noticed I was watched. Although it wasn't too annoying, it spoiled the impression from the trip anyways, but not too much. Among the later news, Edward Shevardnadze had been appointed the Minister of External Affairs. War in Israel. Terrorists have taken over a plane. Some loony has spilled acid over a painting in the Hermitage and cut it with a knife. History takes its course. Now reinvigorated, I am back in the lab, ready to work again. Till next time, dear reader. This night I had a strange dream. It's from going somewhere at night in Leningrad. Well, not going somewhere, more like running from something. I run into the first house I see, an old-fashioned one, somewhere in the center of the city. And I look behind me. It's so dark in the hallway that house, and empty. At first glance, and I suddenly feel that I'm no longer alone. It's quiet. And I hear someone calling for help, and this voice. It's so alien, not human at all. I woke in cold sweat. Hello, my dear reader. Another page is closed. A new 1986 year is coming, and I don't even know what to say. Everything seems to be in order. My work, mysterious as it remains, is in full swing. We live in harmony, and soon I return to the city streets. As our army men here say, but I feel uneasy, for some reason. Since I first had that creepy dream, I've been having nightmares. As soon as I start drifting off to sleep, weird voices sound in my head. Talking and talking and talking. I can't understand the language, though. Are they even really talking? If anything, it resembles the rustling of leaves. Tenerev tells me to speak with our doctor, but I'm not overly enthusiastic about it. I don't see any reason. I'm not mad. What is he going on to tell me, anyway? Probably that it's homesickness that causes these nightmares. I know it already. Obviously, a family means a lot to me. Cut out for all this. Dreams continue. Starting to understand some of the phrases, but no meaning behind them. Some random jumble of words. Erntel always looking at me funny. I find myself funny too. Especially after Lazarenko told me he has similar dreams. What kind of devilry is this? Ask for a phone call with family. But the current situation does not allow it. Never got them to tell me what is wrong exactly. Always sleepy. Everyone is drowsy. Understand why I'm feeling sick. No sleep. Sorry for my family. The others? Why are they feeling so bad? Never get to see Nina Semeniova anymore. When I do, it's just for a moment. Not herself anymore. Circles under her eyes. Hair is all messed up. Moves so nervously. I wanted to go outside, but they wouldn't let him. After that, we revolted and demanded an explanation. They promised to tell us everything tomorrow. We did it. We finally did it. You maniacs, you blew it up. Damn you. Damn you all to hell. That's a good reference. We sent a detachment of soldiers to the surface. They never returned. Probably died. Power and oxygen supply is consistent. The bunker was built to last for centuries. What we do feel a shortage of, however, is food. Actually, it was the food we sent the soldiers to get. Funny, isn't it? State-of-the-art fortress has everything to sustain life, except food. Any reason to do so? And any reason to do so. We've been broken down so quickly. Although, why does it matter? No more dreams now. Once I was wandering alone in the corridor and saw Nina Semeniova. She was heading for the lab with a gun and a gas can. I wanted to talk to her, but she gave me such a look that I didn't dare. I haven't seen her since. My dreams stopped. All of them. I have no dreams at all now. Just... Anyway, that's what that is. Stole a handgun. Funny. One round left in the clip. Makes you think. Oh, no, I ended it. I found Ternium today, lying in his bed, dead. Apparently he'd overdosed on sleeping pills and died in his sleep. It was deliberate. All I can say is I don't understand him. I would toss a coin. Tails mean yes, head means no. Tails, well, okay. Goodbye. Okay, so here's my guess is what's happening right now, and I'm probably going to be slightly off. This reminds me of a vault in Fallout 3 where they were blasting. It was a vault that was for musically, or for musical people. People who love music and stuff got to be there. Except what they were really doing is they were blasting the sound. What they're really doing is blasting the sound through the walls, which was actually turning people crazy. I think. Let me actually look it up. I want to remember what this vault was about again. Fallout 3 Music Vault. Vault 92. Yeah, they were trying to create super soldiers by subliminal suggestion. By playing white noise that contains subconscious messages. But everyone started exhibiting uncontrollable aggression. Sounds very similar to me. Except maybe this is more biological in nature and less auditory. That's my guess. Wait for all these creatures to get close to me. Very easy, very good. This is the laundry room, I assume. I don't like my character keeps coughing. We gotta get some water and stuff. I could use the antidote I have, but it'd be overkill.